He's going to get it running right. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it. I'm probably giving...
And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Alex Anzalone in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
How about that, partner? His 2nd sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. Bottom line, he's got to figure things out. He's completed 3 passes, but 2 of them have been to the wrong team so far.
And when we talk about the best quarterbacks, we're usually talking about touchdown-to-interception ratio, aren't we? And 2 to 1 is acceptable, but the top line guys, 3 to 1 or better is what they're looking for. Now we're talking about interceptions versus completions. That's not a ratio should ever be in any discussion.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
With that type of force on contact, as an ex-DB, I expected the ball to come free. I really did. I thought that was going to be an incomplete pass. I've got to admire him catching it, taking the hit, and getting the first down.
Well, anytime on those crossing routes, middle third of the field, you know there's a possibility of a hit like that.
And just think, if you can do that as a receiver, what that does for you and your quarterback's relationship, his confidence in him has got to be super high, and he'll look for him every time on those big third down plays.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. A reminder coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. Now Brees. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Daniil Hunter. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down. They do go for it. It's Brees. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. A surprising move to go for it, predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position.
Black. Two. Yellow.
Cousins on 1st down. Lets it fly for Thielen. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, 36 yards. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
Boy, that route is really tough to cover because...
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Bailey now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. They've got to find a way to get him more involved in this game plan. Down here in the 2nd quarter, he doesn't even have a catch.
And don't think they're not hearing about it in the huddle and on the sidelines. And we often think of wide receivers at times being disruptive. It's just that they know their talents and they know the type of plays they can make, and they can make big ones. They want the ball to help their team.
Yeah, you got to think he's going to want the ball more. One target, no catches. Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back. In pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
Now Breeze on third down. And that's complete. It's Watson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
Really? Really? Did we just see that? That's a big catch. One-handed, I might add, to pick up a first down.
I was going to say on third down for the defense, it's one thing to give up a reception. You just kind of shake your head on a one-handed catch to pick up the first. And Watson has it right side. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there at 22.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. They go play action here on first down. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. He got 29 yards that time. First down now, but that clock rolling. Into the red zone, it's Breeze. Dancing to his left. The ball comes out, and this is going to kick out of bounds. Boy, a fortunate bounce or two there. They'll keep possession back inside the 10-yard line. This is first and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Play action, Breeze. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Stephen Weatherly in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. So we've reached halftime here So the halftime show of the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half. The halftime show, quite a spectacle, but it's back to football for the second half of Super Bowl 53. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that, because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Throwing his Cousins. He'll find Thielen work in the middle. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. In on the tackle, Alex Okafor. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They just had his
blitz coming, and down he goes. Demario Davis coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Kyle Rudolph, 41 yards. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And now running right through it. Accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there with a return of 102 yards. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Cousins. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Demario Davis in there to get him for his second sack of the night. Well, it was second long, now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Cousins. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Are we on the same page here, partner? Because I think they have the right idea. Just take what you can get on 3rd and forever.
Yeah, in real life, I'd say yes. It's just these video games are tempting. You want to go downfield with it.
I like the way you evolved. Yeah. You know, you learned how to play it the Madden way.
And it's fielded at the 34. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. On play action. Now Breeze. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. Kamara's got the first down and then some. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Well, as the play call comes in on 3rd down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns, they need points, and they need big points.
It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Saints get a bit closer.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. They go for just one here as it's up and good, and that will get them one closer. A drive there of just 4 plays, and the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. That's fielded in the end zone. And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
And now out comes Minnesota. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 33 and a first. They run again on first down. Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
And here's Lewis. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that...
And that's caught inside the 35. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 63 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and goal.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
He'll get it up the middle. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Well, add that play to his resume reel because he went to the Pro Bowl last year. That's how you go to the Pro Bowl. You make plays like that, big-time penetration, and throw people for losses.
Breeze now on 3rd and goal. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
Time for a break. We're back to crown a champion after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. They start the drive with Cook. A big play there out of Cook. 42 yards. Big run here in the 4th as they continue to wear down this defense.
And that's when the offensive line coach clicks onto the headset and says, head coach, offensive coordinator, let my guys fire out and hit people. We're wearing them down. Let's finish them off with the running game.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. A.J. Klein in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Cousins here to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. Touchdown, Vikings! Adam Thielen, his 2nd touchdown of the Super Bowl. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Bailey now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
We're good. 5-4, ready.
They fake the give. Here's Breeze. On the check down, he finds Kamara. Oh, and now he bowls him over. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith, and he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Gun.
Throwing here, Cousins. He's going to float this one deep right side. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Aldrick Robinson, 49 yards. And the interception by the Vikings D leads to a touchdown. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that will extend this big lead. And they have done it. The Minnesota Vikings